Hello people and welcome back to my Instapod. We're on to episode 2 now of our Make Change Happen challenge, and before we get down to business with this one, I did just want to take a few moments to say a personal thank you to everybody who has messaged me and contacted me and given me such amazing, lovely, wonderful feedback from part 1. I've had some really cool conversations with people about identifying their why. There's lots of different reasons come up. Some of the reasons are very similar to others. Some of the reasons are pretty unique, but I think that from the feedback that I'm getting, everybody kind of took something away from it. So I am hoping that episode 2 is going to have the same effect. So I'm going to stop waffling now and let's get down to it. Hello people and welcome back to my Instapod. We're on one of the common threads that seem to come out of people identifying their why, and this is personal to me as well, is that one of the reasons that people want to make this change and start their digital marketing or passive income journey is to try and get that freedom and break away from that traditional kind of 9-to-5 mindset. Now, you've probably seen a lot of posts on social media about digital marketing being, a scam and one of the biggest scams going. I can tell you from personal experience that the biggest scam going that I now realise is actually giving your time and your skills to somebody else for a fraction of what they're worth, just to make somebody else's family comfortable, when in actual fact, by doing that, you're actually not getting that time with your own. One of the common threads that seem to come out of people identifying their why. Now, you may be sat there thinking, Lisa seems pretty definite on that. And that's because because I've been there. And I can tell you from experience, and this is going to be harsh for a lot of people, but it is the harsh truth. It is the harsh reality. Your boss doesn't care that you don't spend time with your family. They don't care that you're missing out on your own family to make money for them so that they can spend more time with theirs, because that's why they're in business. Their main priority is their family, and your main priority is your family. And it's very difficult to get that balance, because although we want to spend more time with our family and spend more time with our children, it's no secret that money makes the world go round. We have to earn money in order to enjoy that time. Now, you may be sat there thinking, Lisa seems pretty definite on that. And that's because I am. The good news nowadays is that you can actually tip that balance, and there is a way to change it, because the way we live our life is changing and the way that we work to live our life is changing. And you've probably seen everywhere that Forbes are predicting that online marketing and online business is just going to skyrocket by 2025. And one of the best ways to get that change and to make that difference for your family is just going to be to try and get on board with this new revolution that's kind of happening now. And it sounds really radical, and you've probably heard a lot of people talking about it. It's not easy. I would never sit here and say that it was easy, but it is achievable. And I genuinely feel that if I can achieve it, everybody can achieve it. If you've got a phone, if you've got a laptop, if you've got Wi-Fi, the good news nowadays is that you can actually then there is absolutely no reason why anybody can't start taking steps towards ditching that restraint of 9-to-5 and just gaining back some of that financial independence and that time freedom. Now, obviously, you're probably sat there thinking, yeah, well, it's okay for you to say that, Lisa, because you've already done it. Where do I start? And that is a really good question. And this is the next step that we're going to be covering today. So any journey, and that can be a digital marketing journey, a passive income journey, it can be a journey starting any new business, starts with identifying where exactly you're going to fit into the landscape that you're entering. So obviously today and for this mini series, we're talking about online marketing or digital marketing or passive income, then there is absolutely no reason why anybody can't start taking steps towards ditching. So when we talk about online business, the opportunities really are endless. You could choose to go with an area that you're familiar with, or you could choose to try out something new. Something quite popular is that lots of people will document their journey. So if they start maybe say affiliate marketing or master resale rights, they will document their journey. Either way, literally, it's such a huge playing field that the choice is up to you. But before we kind of get in front of ourselves, what we really need to do is identify which particular sector we want to fit into. Now, you've probably heard people talking about niches. I personally don't like the word niche because I think that it pigeonholes people far too much, and I think it's quite a misunderstood term. So when we talk about online business, the opportunities really are endless. And if I hear the term niche down, it literally makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Because I do think that people get railroaded into backing themselves into this corner with the word niche, when actually a niche for me can cover all manner of different things. So for me, if I had to choose my specific niche, it would be wealth, because obviously I try to help people get financial freedom and break away from that 9 to 5. But to me, wealth also means making people richer in any area of their life that they want to improve. So I offer health and wellbeing courses, I offer anxiety related products because it's something I suffer with myself. I talk about home education for those who, would like that luxury of a little bit more financial freedom to be able to home educate. And if I hear the term niche down, it literally makes the hairs on the back. It really can be adapted to so many different products or services, and it's really important that you remember that. So for our mini challenge today, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of time to reflect on where you want to fit in, where your passions lie, where your interest lies, or maybe, like we said, you could go with your area of expertise. Obviously, starting a business, particularly online, if you've never done anything like that before, can be quite overwhelming. And people do sometimes find that to draw on something that they're already familiar with does give them a little bit of a head start. So personally, I started with home education because that was something that we've done for quite a long time. I felt quite confident in talking about it. I felt quite confident in providing resources for it. So that's kind of where my journey started. It really can be adapted to. So for you, we could look at what skills you already possess that you think other people may find valuable. Consider your hobbies, what you like to do, your personal interests, your professional skills, or, any specialised knowledge that you may have in a certain field. Alternatively, some people use, a new beginning and a new chapter to go with something completely new to them. If you could do something, if you had the opportunity, then now is the time. So really think about, what drives you, what's going to excite you, because hopefully this business is going to be super successful and you're going to spend an awful lot of time doing it. So it's got to be something that you enjoy. It's got to be something that you're invested in, because that will shine through to your community. If you don't have that commitment, they won't have that confidence in you. So for you, we could look at, and when we're considering kind of where we want to fit in, another important thing that we need to take into consideration is kind of market demand. So obviously you want to look at areas that have a sizable audience, maybe somewhere that needs a solution or more information. So obviously, because we're going to be running this as a business, we need to know that there is going to be an audience for the product that we're marketing. So tools like Google Trends and keyword research tools, and even just social media insights, start interacting interacting with people who are in the sector that you're looking to possibly go into, because then you can look at the interest they receive, you can look at the followers that they have, you can look at, the competition that you've got within that niche. So that is a really good way of doing some kind of casual market research. And when we're considering, start looking at the type of people who are engaging with this sector. Identifying your target audience is a huge part of the process when we're starting any business. So, who are they? What are their interests? What do they need? What are their pain points? What solutions can you offer them? What help can you give them? Understanding how your audience works and their needs and preferences will really help you to not only tailor what sector you initially go into and how you approach that, but also the content and the market strategies that you're going to use to effectively reach them and engage with them. So social media is, for me, one of the best ways of doing that. Start looking at the type of people who are engaging with this sector. Identifying your target audience is and when we've looked at the different areas that are available and we've narrowed down our preferences and we've looked at the audience that we're going to be targeting, this is going to really help you kind of narrow down your focus. So although we're not backing ourselves into a corner, obviously you don't want to be spreading yourself too thinly by trying to cover a huge range of topics. So initially, if you aim to just kind of become an authority figure or provide valuable or specialised content for your audience in the first instance, that's how they're going to connect with you and that's how they're going to resonate with you, and they're going to follow your journey and they're going to come along with you. And as you evolve, your community will evolve and you're going to attract new followers on the fact that you're now pivoting from the initial sector that you were in into new ones. And when we've looked at the different areas, and I really do feel that, we always need to keep our mind open to this idea of kind of evolution, because nothing is ever set in stone. And as time goes on, you're going to gain experience, you're going to be getting more insights and feedback from your audience, and you're going to take your business in effect where they need you to go. No business ever grew by standing still. So the key really is to kind of find that balance between where your passion and your experience and your interest lies, whilst also, meeting that market demand and serving the needs of your audience. And there is just one more really important point I want to make before I leave you today. And I really do feel that, we always need to keep our mind open to this idea of kind of evolution, because nothing is ever set in stone. And that is that heading towards kind of any new challenge or starting any new chapter, particularly when it involves a lot of change, can be really scary. And that's really natural. It's a process that everybody goes through. And I am going to be covering a lot more about the mindset surrounding this in later episodes. But the question that I really want you to ask yourself is that if we skip forward 12 months from now, and you don't make that change, you're going to look back and you're still going to be in exactly the same place that you are now, thinking that you could have actually been 12 months closer to the goals that you are aspiring to, that you want to reach. And for me, that's kind of scarier than taking that chance and making that change and just putting a foot on that new path. And that is heading towards, as always, my DMs are always open. If you would like to get in touch about anything that I've talked about in today's Instapod, if you'd like any more kind of clarity on anything, if you would like a little bit of help or support, please don't struggle in silence. There is always somebody out there that you can reach out to. And I've found this community to be really supportive and really helpful because we're all very like-minded people. As you already know, I love to hear your feedback. Do you think this has been helpful? Do you think that there's anything else that I could have covered? What would you like me to cover? I really want this to be like an extension of my community. So please don't forget to tune in next time. We've got 3 more episodes to go. But for now, I'm going to be signing off and saying thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next time. As always, my DMs are always open. If